Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Online Safeguarding Live webinar event. We're going to take just a couple of minutes and let a few more people join before we'll get started. But while we're waiting, I thought I would go ahead and speak about some other events that we have coming up. On August 28th at 9 a.m. Central Time, there'll be a live Q&A session with yours truly and Owen on our YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com and search for senso.cloud, you can set yourself a reminder. Don't miss that event. It's going to be an amazing way to communicate directly with us and ask your questions about Senso. If you have questions you'd like to submit before so that you can guarantee that they'll be in that event, please email them to superhero@senso.cloud. That is superhero@senso.cloud. And we have one more event coming up after this. We have our last live webinar event, Part 5, Google Classroom Sync and Chrome OS features. That is going to be on Thursday, September 5th. Make sure that you set a reminder in your calendar for that one, the last day series. And as always, we record these events, post them to our YouTube channel, except for at the end of these, a live Q&A session does not get posted to YouTube. If you would like to chat with us live, you have to be here on this event. So let's give probably one more minute for a couple more people to join up, and then we will go and talk about the online safeguarding using senso.cloud. Okay, I think this is a good time to go ahead and jump into it. So looking at my screen, we have now, I've already gone and logged into the portal. If you have been with us in the past, you know, I always kind of go over the same thing at the beginning of it, in that we have the ability with our software to be granular about what users see. So you'll see my toolbar has once again changed. For this one, I'm acting as maybe a counselor, a principal, a technician, maybe a teacher leader that has a little bit more permissions for the safeguarding side of it. So you'll see that my toolbar has changed, and now I have some different tools than in previous webinars where we've talked about classroom management, network management, those type of things. We were crafting these users so that you see different tools, and what I'm referencing is right here at the top. These are tools or modules. Again, we've talked about list view and thumbnail view, so I'm not going to go in depth about that. You always have the ability to go back and watch those, so you get more information about live thumbnail view on those other videos on our YouTube channel. So we are in a live thumbnail view. I have some PCs sitting here that are actually in our UK office. These one that says Senso Desktop. These US office PCs are sitting right here in our US office. And then I have some Chromebooks. So I want to bring your attention firstly right here to this one that says no active tab. So on there, this is as if the student has not shared out their entire screen. So that you still see the active tab, everything that's going to happen within that active tab. Now, for classroom management, once the student has shared out their screen, now we're going to see everything that is happening on that Chromebook. So that's kind of, I wanted to talk about that a little bit in the safeguarding side of it. That actually will be a feature that we're going to go more in depth in the next live webinar event, where we will be referencing Google Classroom, Chromebooks, operating systems. But I did want to bring that to your attention on the safeguarding side of it, because safeguarding, you would want to see everything that's happening on those Chromebooks. Okay, so now we are going to jump into the tools. We have Allow Apps, which is a brand new tool that's going to be coming out very soon, that you can restrict applications to those remote computers into a list of allowed applications only. So you see you can restrict, you can show a warning box, and then we have some applications pre-built into it that you can turn on and off, like calculator, if you only want them to get to the Chrome browser, that sort of information. So on here, I'm going to select US Office PC1. And I have pre-built a shortcut for this. Again, reference one of our other videos where I talk about how to create shortcuts and shortcut icons for that. So within here, I can either do my shortcut or my icon. I'm going to restrict it to just TestNav. Now here in Texas and other states, that is state testing software. It is very helpful on these devices to restrict when they are testing to only utilize that one piece of software. So on here, you'll see I've turned everything off. They can't get to the Chrome browser. They restrict applications. And so now they are locked into only utilizing that test nav software for state testing purposes. So if they try to go to anything else, it's going to tell them no, they don't have access to that. Now Firefox, you see there, this process has been blocked. It actually will give them a screen that says, oops, you can't go out to Firefox. If they try to open anything else similar to that, it's going to get that same message that this process has been blocked. Very, very helpful tool on there. When you're ready to re-allow access to different tools and functionality on there, you simply come in and turn off all of your settings, and then you have access to utilize that machine again. Especially if this is going to be in a lab, you know, you want to give those students access to the lab computers after state testing is done. So this is very, very powerful, especially during that time of year where state testing is very stressful, to have the ability to lock down those devices into a set of allowed applications only. So banned resources, this is a little bit different. You have some options within here. You can use this in conjunction with your content filter. So you can block websites, block content, applications. Now keyword doesn't ban the keyword. What it does, it gives you an alert about the keyword that you put in here. I will show you where those alerts will be in your admin center here in just a minute. So you can grab a screenshot, you know, of these violations as they're happening. You can whitelist. Now think of this as YouTube. You can block YouTube outright and then build a whitelist of educational videos that maybe teachers submit to you that they want to use in their classrooms. You can whitelist those in here. So I think on this, I really want to showcase this on our Chromebooks. So I'm going to select our Chromebooks here. I'm going to go to allow only. I'm going to say the only thing iStation is a very popular one. I'm going to add that in and run it. So now on these, we are going to be looking at only utilizing iStation.com today. They can't go to any other websites. So on here, I'm going to act as if the student website is not on the allowed list. I'm locked into utilizing and going to the only website that I'm allowed to go to that day, which is going to be iStation. And now I can go to iStation. Same thing on this other Chromebook, same way if I wanted to go out to possibly YouTube or anything like that, they're going to get a message. Nope, can't do that. You can only use iStation today. So that's what the allow only is. So now I'm going to go ahead and delete that out of there, confirm, and now you can utilize and get right back to work, and they can access any of the sites that they need to go to once you have turned that tool off. So that's what allow only is. All right, let me go ahead and take these back down so you can see all of the thumbnails. Block internet. Now, this is a little misleading in that it doesn't actually block the internet. It disables the user's ability to access a browser. So they can't use a browser to go out to the internet and access anything. So you see, once we've turned this on, we have these really great icons here that let us know the internet has been disabled on these. So this is great. I've talked about this in other webinars where you could use this maybe in research papers. You know, they have all the information. You don't want them. There's really no need for them to go out to the internet that day and search for anything, and they can just sit there and use applications that are loaded on these devices and only not have the ability to access the internet. So that's block internet. Block USB storage, pretty straightforward. You can block the ability for users, they can't plug in USBs to your devices. You can allow USBs that are protected by BitLocker. You can have an allow list and a block list as far as hardware. So this is definitely a safeguarding for your devices tool rather than safeguarding information on these. Command prompt, we've talked about this. This is just something I think if you're safeguarding, you want to be able to push out command prompts to those end users. So we're not really going to talk much about that because we have spoken about that in other webinars. Again, in sessions the same way. This is log out, restart, shut down. Again, if you're safeguarding, you want to have some of these tools built into there. So we're not going to talk about those on this one. Launch websites and applications. We've talked about that as well, that you can build these icons yourself to launch applications out to the devices. You've seen that in other videos. Live chat is the same. Lock screen, in a safeguarding situation, you could think of it as, you know, not just an eyes to the front, but it could also be something like active shooter alert, fire drill. These could be pre-built messages that go in, and you can change the background color on them for severity. So definitely for the fire drill, you know, put that in there, top down, select all your devices, and go ahead and say, you know, it's going to be fire drill, and have that, save it as a shortcut. It's easy enough. We can shortcut right here, fire drill, save it as an icon if I wanted to, and then it's going to push that information out to those devices like that. So again, this could be part of the safeguarding, especially when it comes to maybe an active shooter alert on campus. You could let everybody know on their devices, you know, follow procedures that we have set up, that we've practiced for an active shooter on campus. So that's, again, another physical safeguarding tool that we've given to our schools. We're going to talk about logging in just a minute, because that's really the big part of the safeguarding. Managed services, again, start, stop, restart services, remote control, remote login, remote scripting, send message. These are all tools that are just here. We showcase those in other videos, so please reference those if you have questions. So let's go ahead and switch over into logging. You can get to logging straight through here. You see I have the admin center open as well. If you go into the admin center, you can access logging. So this is logging violations that have happened on our devices. I have triggered some violations today. I'm looking at this word cloud of the bigger the word, the more violations have occurred. You can see the detection libraries that they're coming out of. Who are my top 10 violating devices? I can go straight to the screenshot here from these links. I can go right to them. I can also get a visual over here in violation log. So anytime that there is a violation, you will get a screenshot of it, so you can have more context as to what that violation is. You can find the device name, the user, the phrase, what library it's coming out of. You can make notes about this. You can change the status on it for auditing purposes after the fact. You can print the image straight here from this window. And so this is really a very powerful tool to safeguard students online and offer support for them. We saw on there that the one I looked at was suicide. I also have ones in here for cutting. These are coming out of these keyword libraries that you could have a discussion. You could send this on over to your counselor, who can then talk to that student. We have violations for hate you, that would be in cyberbullying. You see we have one for gun, we have one for shooting. We have a lot of pre-built libraries into the software that already contain a lot of these keywords in these very, you know, broad categories like self-harm, cyberbullying, extremism, those type of categories pre-built. But we also give the ability to build your own libraries. So something we have right, the detection libraries, you can build your own set of keyword libraries to add in. You have a very specific thing that you want to track on campus at your school district that's not something that is pre-built from us. You can make that detection library and get those alerts back from them. You know, you can trigger a screenshot of it, anything like that. So in here, I'll show you what that looks like. You could do the same thing as in block resources, keyword detection, content, applications, URLs, block or whitelist, and then severity. Now the severity is important, and I'll tell you why. Anything that comes out of the urgent or critical severity libraries will trigger an email alert. So things that we have put into those libraries already, things like suicide, when that occurs, and I'll scroll over here, and it's in that critical severity, I will get an email alert. Whoever has been set up in the system to receive those alerts will get an email alert letting them know that this has been triggered, and that they could then log in and look at the screenshot of what that alert was. So that's, again, you can set any users within your environment, a counselor, a principal, a superintendent, the IT person, you know, to get those alerts when any of those violations occur in those critical categories. So that's another very powerful safeguarding tool into the software. So let's talk about some of the other information that you're going to get back from these devices. You have application logs. These are going to be the applications that have been opened up on these devices. Website logs. This is the information you're going to pull off of these devices. You know, you can, again, be very specific and granular about this. So I just want to look at everything that's happening on a specific Chromebook or PC. I can then go within here and pick one of my users, and I can just click on that user, and now it's filtering out that information. So I'm only looking at things from user Intune Manager. I can do the same thing for sites. I can do the same thing for devices. I want to look at everything that's happened on this device. If I had multiple users logged into this device, I'm going to see all of the information they accessed from here, because then we're looking at device and not user. So that's a really great tool that we've built in, so it makes it very easy for you to filter through that information and pull out and extract just specifically what you're looking for. So caption logs, these are going to be windows that have been opened up on these devices. Activity logs, you see user idle, user active, and then archive logs is a new tool that we're coming out where you can access older logs instead of ones that are just current. So you can, right now we're looking at today's logs. I could go back 30 days. I can also do last month in a custom range as well to access the older logs for information I'm looking for. So again, this is a big piece of that safeguarding side that we wanted to showcase today. The logging, the ability to build your own libraries, and what that would look like on this side. Okay, so looks like I'm really good about hitting that 20-minute mark so that we can leave the last 10 minutes of this for question and answers. So before we transition into that, I appreciate everybody being here today. Again, please join us on August 28th at 9 a.m. Central Time for our live question and answer session with Lisa and Owen. I'm very excited about that. And then please join us again on September 5th for our last in this live webinar series. We will be showcasing our Google Classroom features, Chrome OS features, and anything that we do on the Chromebooks. So if you're on YouTube watching now, this is going to be the end of it. I appreciate your time. And for everyone else, we're going to switch over into the live question and answer session right now.